Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Follow a Sketch Friday. So this is the sketch that I have chosen. It is by Laura Whitaker. Now this will be in the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group. So if you play along with the sketch, I would love it if you put your take in the Follow Sketch Friday album as well. And I thought what I would do a little bit different this time is to kind of walk you through what I'm choosing and how I'm doing it. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so what I am seeing is a big old pattern paper here and a big old pattern paper there. Now, since this is May the 4th, I want it to be a little sparkly, so I've got this gold polka dot paper. Totally excited about that. Now, there are also some long border strips, so I went ahead and pulled out my border strips. And I'm not exactly sure which color I want to go for yet. Haven't figured that one out. So what I think I'm going to do is pause on the border and figure out what other color I want to do. So I've got a couple of strips here. I think I'm going to go with the green. I like the green. Okay. I think we pop off of this. Now that I've got my two main papers, I can pull out my border strips. So I've got these lime green ones. What I think I'm going to do is take this tiny little circle one, because it's not so in your face lime. Then I'm going to take out this one. My plan is to layer that on top. So now my borders, are there two borders on there? Well, no, that looks like a tab. So now my borders are done. Now I need to pull out some little bits for the decoration and the little spot of journaling and my background paper. All right, so I grabbed a few more things. I went ahead and grabbed this yellow paper for my background, and then I had one LE Studio label, so I pulled that out. I also pulled out some other LE Studios labels and little die cuts that came in my May or June kit, don't remember. And then I pulled out this pocket card for the journaling spot on the side. And then I just went through my stash and grabbed a couple things that I thought were color appropriate and would work, and I grabbed a doily. Not exactly sure what I'm doing with it yet, but there are circles on this sketch, so I'll either draw some lines, use a doily, something. These were color appropriate, so I gathered those, and then this had some blues and greens and yellows, so I grabbed these. And then, of course, since these are May the 4th Be With You shirts, I grabbed some stars. Now these stars are stars that I always keep in my stash. I pick them up at Hobby Lobby. They're Paper Studio, so when they go on sale for half off, I think they are a fantastic deal. I only got a few left on this package, so I pulled out my next package as well. And then, of course, I have some fun foam. And yeah, I don't know what else we're adding in yet. Ooh. Maybe I'll do gold and silver stars. That sounds exciting. Okay, so now let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so now since you have my thought process down, it is time to actually make the layout. So I'm going to take this green striped paper and I am going to place it so that it almost spans my entire background. And I'm doing that because in the sketch, the photographs are landscape, and they're also not exactly 4x6 photos. They are sketched down smaller. So I am using 4x6 photos, and they are in portrait, so I need to make sure that my paper layers are large enough so that I can use that size photograph. So I did what I told you I was going to do. I overlapped that green border over top of the black and white border, so now I've got that there. And I am figuring out the journaling box. So at first I thought I was going to have my journaling box this way, so that it was more in a vertical orientation, but I end up switching it and it ends up going a little bit more landscape. So I have this blue kind of dotty paper, and I'm going to go ahead and layer that up over top of the gold and white paper, and just a tiny little bit's going to hang over on the green striped paper, and that way this entire paper layerness is going to feel like one cohesive unit. Since it is all different colors, you need to have the layers touching like this to just feel like one big layer. If I decided to put that blue and white paper down on just on top the white and gold paper, it would feel disjointed. So now I'm going to add some adhesive to my photos on my photo mat. I just went ahead and used some green cardstock, which is not something I do a whole lot of. Most of the time when I have cardstock mats, it's usually black or white. But I keep looking over here at my cardstock that's just sitting around, and you know, I feel like I need to get some of it used up because, you know, it just sits there. Now, way back in the day, I used to use cardstock an awful lot, but it's gone down because pattern paper has gotten so much beautifuler and so much better. So yeah. Now I've got the little journaling piece down, and now I'm going to figure out the doily down here at the bottom. So this is a felt doily, so it's got a little bit of lift to it. And if I put it underneath of my photo with the photo just stuck down to the paper, it's going to dip, like it's going to lean down, and I don't want my photos leaning down. So I grabbed some fun foam, and I'm going to put fun foam on the areas where the doily is not going to be. And since this is a felt doily, I'm going to go ahead and use some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to make sure that it stays stuck to both my photo mat and the background of the page. So there we go. Pushing it all down so that it kind of melts together. And now I'm going to basically ignore the other circle that is at the top of the sketch. Now remember, when you're using a sketch, you can use it exactly as the sketch is drawn. You can just use it as an inspiration or a starting off point, or you can pick one thing and make sure that you're doing that. Or you could look at the sketch and end up creating a layout that really looks nothing like the sketch. And if you've played along with Follow a Sketch Friday or Follow a Sketch February, or even 30 Days of Sketches, you know that that can happen because plenty of people do that. So now I'm going to use those LE Studio die cuts along with my wood veneers, and I'm going to start decorating up my layout. Now, I absolutely love decorating layouts. I just think it's a fun thing, right? Like, it doesn't matter what you're using to decorate. It could be wood veneer, it could be more paper, it could be flowers, it could be flair, it could be brads. I feel like I'm getting ready to start singing a song. But, you know, you could decorate with whatever you want. So I am enjoying using these wood veneer bits and using the puffy stickers and everything else. Like, it's definitely working out. So I wanted a little bit of extra color over here on the left-hand side because everything else was definitely going to be colorful. My cluster up here was going to be colorful, and I just felt like the left-hand side of the page was missing out. Like, it's just kind of like yellow in there. So I add that blue tag, but that's not going to be enough. I'm going to add even more color over there. But I am going to get some pop foam on the back of this wood veneer because my photos are popped up, and the wood veneer is going to hang over top of the photo a little bit. So again, if I wouldn't have put that pop foam on the wood veneer, it would have leaned down, and I don't want leany things, right? Like, I'm just not, maybe if I wanted it on purpose, that would be fine, but this is not a, I want leany things on purpose. So I go ahead and pop up that die cut as well. And now I'm just figuring where else I can put these little pops of color because I've pulled them all out because they're great color match, right? Like, I've got the green, the yellow, and the blue now. and it's all kind of coming together as one cohesive layout. So I go ahead and layer that up. I kind of forget and put to the side that little blue and white square label. I do remember it at the end, so it does make it onto the page. Now, because I pulled out these jelly bean soup words, I decided I needed to use one because the colors were a great match. And I went ahead and used happy. So I figure I'm going to do a little like play on words title. So my title is going to be Happy 4th. And normally when you think Happy 4th, you think of 4th of July, but in actuality, we are celebrating May the 4th be with you. So we're celebrating Star Wars days, you guys. So I pull off the appropriate colored plus signs, and I'm going to use those to just embellish a little bit more. Now, plus signs are great because it adds dimension, it adds color, it adds texture, without it being a flower, right? Like, I feel like flowers might be my go-to thing. They probably are, and I love it, but I didn't want flowers on this layout. So I also didn't want to use the red plus signs. Like, I want everything to stay in the same color scheme. So now I'm putting down the dots, and these are puffy dots, but I'm treating them just like enamel dots. And I will also add Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to the back of all of these things I just stuck down on the page because they're not really stuck down great. Yeah, we all know that adhesive is a problem in the scrapbooking world, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but with the last collection that I bought from Cartabella, the Disney collection, the one that Stephen Duncan designed, the chipboard doesn't even have adhesive on the back of it. So it's like they're just straight up giving up. Now, did they lower the price of the chipboard because they're not paying to put adhesive and adhesive backing on them? No, they're the same price. So that's fantastic. But it's fine. It's fine. It's all fine, you guys. Because no matter what, I'm going to add more adhesive to the chipboard anyway, right? Like, it's not going to stick. Whether it has adhesive already put on it or it's just the blank naked chipboard, I've got to put extra adhesive down. So now I remembered that I pulled out those gold stars, and these are like streamer stars that came in a tube that I picked up at Tuesday morning a while ago. So I'm going to put those down, and then I'm going to layer up the silver stars with the gold stars. Originally, I thought I might just put down the silver stars, but the gold stars were a good addition because my gold dots. So now I'm mixing my metals a little bit more. I love mixing metallics. I think it looks great. But if you're not the type of person that likes to mix your metallics, then don't do it. You stick with one, right? Whatever makes you happy. So here's a couple of close-ups, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you guys again real soon for another video.